Hey, scrapper and scrapettes. How we all doing today? So, I want to work on breaking down some copper today. I got a bucket out there that it's got to get broken down to number 2, number 1, and get that cleaned up so we can, get it in its desired places. So one of the things I need to do is I need to, clean up a little bit. Still that transformer copper that I haven't finished cleaning yet, but that's going to be number 2 when I'm done with it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, this one piece got some nice weight. That's from the welder, the small welder. But the thing is that I'm having trouble with is that my vise. The locking screw decided that it doesn't, keeps want to keep coming loose. I know it's a Harbor Freight job. I really don't care. I got a 2-year warranty on this. And so I'm going to take this off and go exchange it. Also, too, y'all seen my makeshift handle, which is basically just, was the tip of a pressure washer. I drilled a hole in it, put a cotter pin and a pin through it, and that's what I've been using. Yeah, it likes to bend. As you see, it doesn't work. So that's really bothering me also. See, because as you see, look at this. I'm spinning this thing, and the vise ain't moving. I could probably just tighten it up again, but you know what? I am tired of tightening it up. So, like I said, I have warranty on it. So let's go change it out, and then, like I said, we're going to get things cleaned up. I want to finish my bucket holder right here to hold buckets. Thanks to Scrapmeister for giving me the idea to do that. So then I can clean up this shelf a little bit, get the buckets off of here, get things set up, and get a little room so I can get some stuff off the floor, like get the Devil Forge off the floor, get the welder off the floor, get these buckets in their design places, and get this place cleaned up a little bit. And yeah. So, continue on. So we're going to rip this out. We're going to go change it out, and we'll be back. All right, scrapper and scrapettes, we are back. Oh, must have felt like a millennium for you guys. Actually, it was a split second for you folks. So I went to Harbor Freight, picked up the new one, got installed. They did redesign this model. So the thing that I we'll have to try out is the fact that there used to be a 4-bolt pattern. Now they're back. This one here now has a 3-bolt pattern. So there's one on each side and one in the rear. They did change it up. They did some rebuilding on this. The anvil area is a little smaller. This is the same size. It's a pipe vise, so it's got the teeth right here. It's a 5-inch drop. It's 5-inch vise. It spins off 5 inches. And let's go all the way. And there we are. So, and they changed this here. The rod. Before the end cap used to unscrew. And that's how I lost my other one, because it fell. I picked it up. I don't know what I did with it. Knowing me, I probably threw it in shred, not even realizing it. But this one here is actually formed or welded or whatever. Either way. So I bought some Loctite, but I'm not going to need it. But this has the good carry on it. It's going to open up plenty enough for what I need. There used to be a cotter pin back here on the advancement screw, but it's no longer there. They're using a nylon nut now. Now, what I liked about this one here is that you loosen up the side here, and you can rotate. Spin it all the way around, use the pipe side, spin it back, spin it on its side, whatever. This isn't really a review. It's everyone's own preference. But then what I really like about this one here is when you're cranking something on the side, this actually has 2 lockers on the sides. Not just one like a lot of your vices have. And you can spin this thing 360 degrees. So, I got the warranty plan on this. So when I went and brought my other one back, I get the new one. So, sometimes it's worth spending the money on a warranty, because as scrappers we know we are going to break stuff. And of course, you got your top dead center. So, all right, this is done. We're going to do a little more cleanup, and then we'll get to the copper. All right, so we're back. So you got your number 1, you got your number 2 copper. You got your stranded, which this is thick enough. So when I strip this will be number 1, bare bright. Actually, this will be bare bright. So over here you can see I got a bucket of miscellaneous. We got some hot water pipes here. So we got some copper, we got some brass. So what we need to do is we need to liberate all this from itself, and get it broken down and get it in. This here would actually be, this pot here would be number 1. This section here would be number 2. Got some number 2 right here because it's painted. It's got something on it. That's just PEX line. We'll get rid of that. And then we got some brass here, so we'll cut this clean. Pop that out, and we'll have some of that clean brass. And then we got all kinds of things like I said, this bucket is all filled. This is brass. We got the relief valves. There's a bunch of junk in there. I have a video on how to break these open, but I have learned other ways of breaking these open before I cut them right down, spread them apart. But then you were losing brass. I found a better way of doing it, so I'll probably do another video on these. We got a bunch of those. We got some old copper pieces. These, unfortunately, would be number 2. So what I would end up doing with these, take the old proverbial hammer, flatten them out. Yeah, that's it. I got damaged the new vise right off the bat. So we go ahead, we try to fit as much in to a 5-gallon bucket or a larger bucket that we can. Smashing this flat. Drop that in the 5-gallon bucket for right now. I'm looking at getting some 40-gallon buckets. And then we got something like this right here. Believe it or not, this is copper. It's already damaged. It's got a piece of brass in the back right there. So what? Yeah, you better believe it. I am going to liberate it of the brass. Throw that brass in the brass bucket. And then this right here, I wonder, it fits perfect on the bottom of the bucket. But the problem is it's going to get stuck. So we're just going to go ahead, flatten it out a little bit more, make it a little more funny. See, but this is why, having a vise is such a good thing to have, is you can use it to help you bend stuff. Get the go with the anvil. Smash it out, flatten it down. Make it fit. I got stuff falling all over the place. All right, so like I said, it's fine. There's another one. So, you also gotta check timber. You also gotta check your yard too. Okay, like this is from an HVAC unit. You can see this right here, the solder that's on there. So we gotta knock this off, or pry it off, or break it off, so we can go ahead and figure it out. That came off nice and easy. Now, this here is a really nice piece of copper, but you can also see that on the end there's some brass. So if I cut this clean right here, I will actually throw that in brass. Then I'll take my grinder real quick, or heat it up, whatever, knock the solder off, and this whole piece will be number 1. And then I'll cut it down, flatten it out. But for right now, what we can do is like you see with this here. But like I was saying, also too with your yards, some yards actually take HVAC copper at a different price. My yard just takes it as number 1 or number 2. So I don't have to worry about mixing it up. But what I will do is, nice pair of these here work awesome. Cable cutters, Jimbo Scrapper, thank you very much. And also too, if you can't do small ones, get the big ones. And once again, I can thank Jimbo Scrapper for these also. Help me out. A little shout out to Jimmy. But what's great is you go ahead and you take this and put in your vise. Put in your vise, and you got some leverage. So you can go ahead and like literally ease it. Now try to get it as close to the solder as you can. Oh, looks like this one wants to keep moving on me. So I'm gonna have to crush it, unfortunately. But I don't want it to move. I just want to tighten up the vise a little bit so it doesn't twist anymore. Let's see, is that gonna work a little better? We'll find out, won't we? Get it right to the soldered edge. Snip it right off. Same thing, get it right. So this way here, you got this little piece of number 2 in the bucket, and you got the nice piece of number 1. That goes in the bucket, and then like I said, same thing with the solder. Come right to the solder. So you think about it, anything with paint or solder or contaminant, it's going to be considered number 2. Okay, but we went ahead, so that will be number 2. It's got the solder on it. This right here is going to be number 1 because it's got no solder on it. So I already screwed up down here. And so solder, number 2, number 2, and then we got some number 1 right here. And we're going to throw that over in the number 1 bucket. And got some number 1, some nice clean copper right there. And yeah, so this is what we're doing today. It's like this right here, same thing. You got the soldered end, but everything else looks clean. So we will go ahead and as close to the solder as we can, snip that off. Get that little bit going into number 2. And the rest of it's going to go into number 1. So we're going to make it smaller so we can fit it all in our bucket. And this is what we're doing today. See, nice piece of number 1 tubing right here. But like I said, I'm going to make it smaller. Just takes a second. Make it a little smaller, fits better in the bucket. You get more in the bucket because the more you weigh, the more you pay. Like this right here, okay? This is from an HVAC. It's got some oil on it. My yard ain't going to complain about it, which is great. But we're going to make it smaller. More in the bucket, the more it weighs, the more it pays. This right here, it looks dirty, but it's not. It's just the dirt and the muck. And then cut it clean. But, so this is what, you know, once again, I'm repeating myself, but it's all right. And this is a nice clean piece right here. I might turn this a little more. And so we can catch it a little better. So this right here, I can just continue snipping. And continue snipping the copper. Jimbo Scrap would say, more copper, more money. So you can even do that with this one here, if you can get your jaws open enough, but I went ahead and cut the vise too much, and now I can't. So we'll back it off a little bit. So this way here. Oh, I still can't fit it in there. There we go. Are you gonna get it? Probably not. Now, get that plastic out of the way. No, I'm not gonna get in there enough because I can't open the jaws up enough. The shroud's in the way. We'll throw those in number 1. So we'll come back to that piece. As you see, I get a few of them. Get a lot of water heaters. So, and then you got, so this here is also number 2. Copper right here. This is from solenoids and stuff like that. So this would be considered number 2 copper because it's colored. It's very, very thin. But you also got to be careful too because some of your solenoids now are actually aluminum. But this is not. This is actually copper wire. Get the shiny gold right there. Not gold, but copper color. And then at the same time, it's got a lot more weight. So we'll throw that in number 2. And then we got things like right here. These are the dispersers. These are brass. But you got some copper on here. I got some number 2 copper. Got a solenoid on here. So we got to break this all down. And then you gotta. There's actually metal in here. See if I can find a magnet. So there's actually metal in here. And if you turn this in like this right here, they'll consider this dirty brass, and then they'll go through all your brass. So there's a whole thing on breaking these down. I can make a video on these. Show you guys how to take care of those. And yeah, it's like this right here is out of a water cooler. This here is actually all number 2 copper, but in here is stainless steel. You just got to get this off, get the copper off. This will all be number 2. But it's money. So get that out of the way. This right here actually came out of a dehumidifier. This is all number 2 because you can see it's got glue on it and solder on it. It's got some other things on it, but we'll snip all this clean. We'll get it all out. And we'll separate it. But, I mean, this one's going to be real easy because the simple fact is, this whole thing is going to be number 2. So we can just put this off to the side. When I get the bigger drums, I'll throw this right in the larger drums. Okay, there's another brass valve. But this is what we are working on today. So, Scrapper and Scrapettes, thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And it's a lot of fun working with you guys and having some fun. It's like this candle holder. I think this candle holder is copper. Yes, it is. It is copper. It's kind of busted up. Otherwise, I would have tried to sell that. But we're all good. So, Scrapper and Scrapettes, if you hung out with me this long, I appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing and smashing the like button. I hope everybody had a great holiday. Ate a lot of turkey, got a little fat, spent some time with the family. So if you could all please like it, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it out. Check out the other Scrappers and Scrapettes that are out there. They're everywhere. They are everywhere. And we're just going to continue on doing what we're doing here. See, that's a harder pipe. That one don't want to break. Yeah, it's coming right out of the vise. That must be K-pipe. So we're going to have to go ahead. Probably bring it in a little bit tighter on the vise. And just keep doing what we're doing. Just continue on. And, oh yeah, that worked. Just whack my elbow. And, yeah. Also, too, on your number 1, if it's a little tarnished and they don't take it, you know what? Find another yard. Because I tell you, it's still number 1 no matter how you look at it. Later, Scrapper and Scrapettes. Thank you. Take care.